All right, finally getting back out to the garage today. I think today is December 28th, 2020. It's been a busy couple of weeks. About 5 days before Christmas, we got hit with 2 foot of snow here in upstate New York. And then, of course, the holidays, and I had some other stuff going on, too. So it's been crazy for me for the past couple of weeks at least. So anyway, getting back out here. Working on the cases today. Already did some work on them. I'll show you how they came out at the end. But I'm going to edit in some video of me working on them, getting the old paint off, cleaning them up, prepping them, getting them painted. So check it out. And now that things have broke free here after the holidays, hopefully we'll be getting out here and getting some more stuff done. Waiting on some more bearings to rebuild the bottom end. Some stuff came in. My seal kit came in. But still waiting on a few things. So that stuff should be here shortly. So that's why I decided let's get the cases cleaned and painted and ready to go. So there's the cases all painted up. As you saw in the video, we stripped them down to bare metal. I used that aircraft remover. Not a big fan. I'd rather sandblast, but the sandblaster's down. It does a good job. It's just messy, you know. You got to wear your respirator. That stuff's nasty. But anyhow, we got them prepped down to bare metal, cleaned them up with some denatured alcohol, and then we painted them with some black self-etching primer from Eastwood. We let that dry according to the directions, and then we top-coated with this VHT flame-proof paint. They call it header paint, but basically anything high temperature. The cylinder area on a 2-stroke can get up to like 400 degrees, give or take, depending on how hot it is outside and how hard you're getting on it. So definitely wanted to use that. It's a flat paint. I don't like a flat finish, really. You can see I already started taking up polishing rag and kind of polishing up just a little bit. Not that I want it shiny, but just want to see what it would do. Also, this VHT paint, most people just want to lather it on and walk away. I've used this before on projects, actually quite a bit. And you're actually supposed to bake the paint on afterwards. Obviously, if you got a huge set of headers or something like that, unless you got a commercial oven, you're not going to be able to do that. But the smaller stuff, you know, I use my little toaster oven here. I picked this up, I don't know, a couple years ago or whatever for just this purpose. Works good. It's big enough to get these kind of parts in. So anyhow, it calls for 250 degrees for 30 minutes, then you let them cool, then 400 degrees for 30 minutes, then let them cool. It does have a third step at 600 degrees, but I don't know anybody that has an oven that's going to go to 600 degrees. And even if I did, I wouldn't want to put that aluminum up to 600 degrees. 400's the most I'm comfortable going with that. And again, you know, a cylinder can get up to 400 degrees, so I'm not overly worried about that. Anyway, I'm going to pop these in the oven and let them cook. All right, so that's 30 minutes at 250 degrees. We're going to let them cool down. Then we're going to pop them back in for another 30 minutes at 400. And I like the look already just by baking for that 30 minutes. Got rid of that chalky consistency with the flat paint. It's already got somewhat of a sheen to it now. And that's really what I was looking for. So we're going to let them cool, and we're going to pop them back in. All right, so there's the cases all done. We finished the second half hour at 400 degrees. So they're good to go. I'm probably still going to let them sit a day or two to cure a little bit more on their own. We're still waiting for bearings anyway, so not a big deal. And I do expect these to get scratched up during the rebuild process and putting the motor back in the frame and whatnot. But we'll be able to touch it up because we use that VHT paint. It's not a two-part paint like a lot of the Eastwood stuff that I use. It's got a hardener in it, which is a much better paint. But it's only got about a 2-day pot life. In other words, 2 days later, the paint's not usable anymore. So if we get this thing scratched up a bit, not a big deal. We'll be able to touch it up. And once the bike is up and running and the motor heats up, it'll, it'll heat up that paint and cure it. So anyway, that's that. One last thing I'm going to do on this video. This is that repair that we did. I'm actually going to tap this now. That's what it should look like. These two right here hold on the chain guard. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to drill this. I'm going to tap it. Figure I'll throw that in the video too. And then basically these will be sitting around at least for a few days till some parts start rolling in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And that's about it for the video. Quick update. And there'll be more coming your way. All right, so that's the bolt that'll end up going in here for the sprocket shield later. So we're going to take our drill bit and we're going to put a piece of tape so we know what depth to stop at. Obviously, we don't want to drill right into the case or we'll have big problems. All right, so make sure you're using the right size drill bit for the tap that you're going to use. We're using a M6x1 tap, so that requires a 5mm drill bit. You can figure out the fractional size. The metric to fractional size sometimes is a little bit off. If you're within like a 32nd, you might be okay, but definitely recommend using the exact size that the chart shows you. So that's our stop spot. So we're going to go ahead and try to get as center as possible. Alright, so once you're drilled, obviously going to look like that. It's going to look like a hole. I do want to say this is aluminum. If this was steel, you would be using cotton oil as you were drilling. If not, you would burn out the bit in no time. I am going to use a little bit of oil when I do the tap. Got it set up in our T-handle. So I'm just going to wet the tip a little bit. I don't want to get any oil on this fresh paint. So anyway, we're going to dip that in some oil. I'm not going to go crazy with it. And when you're tapping this, again, you want to stay straight. You're going to do about 2, 3, maybe 4 turns, and then you're going to back it out. You want to get the shavings out. And then you're going to do a few more turns, back it out, and you're going to continue that until you bottom out. It's important that you keep backing out and clean your tap. If you keep going, you're going to get jammed up in there and you're going to end up doing damage to it. Again, just make sure you keep cleaning that tap. My T-handle broke, so I'm down to the vice grips. Alright, that should do it. Alright. Test it real quick. Alright, so that should definitely do it. Good to go.